Hi.
How's it going? We got the epoxide setup done over here. That's what this one is. I tried to work it into the nitric acid setup and it kind of screwed everything up, so we had to single it out. But I will go through it here with you and explain it. You start up here with the basic distillery, which takes in the oil and puts out sulfuric gas. That is pumped out the side here into this chemical reactor, which takes hydrogen cells, empty cells, and the sulfuric gas and puts out refinery gas. That refinery gas is coming out, this side into the centrifuge, which is taking refinery gas, and it needs some empty cells, and it'll put out methane and LPG. The reason why it doesn't have the empty cells is because they are sitting over here waiting to go back. We're just doing 2 cells back and forth. So this is canning up the LPG, putting it down this way. Or I said it right the first time. Uncanning the LPG cells, putting it into here with the carbon, and we need chlorine cells in this one. We're leaving this manual at the moment, so we're not automating in the chlorine cells because we don't have a automated way to make the chlorine. But this makes the epichlorohydrin, and then that is coming over here to this one, which is using naphtha cells and nitrogen dioxide cells with the epichlorohydrin, and that is making the epoxide liquid that goes into the solidifier, which is making the epoxide plate. And then, since it's used for circuits and it's not being automated completely, we put the
Right here.
this one. Put the epoxide plates in here with the sulfuric acid, put in copper foil, and you make your epoxy circuit board. These are what's needed for the next step in the circuit assembly to make things cheaper on you. We can't do the SMD things right now because they require, these we can, the resistors, and the transistors, but we don't have a good source of gallium yet. The problem is the capacitors take this polysiloxane foil, which we don't have a way of making yet. Otherwise, we'd be able to do this recipe. Instead, she's going to be doing this recipe, which uses regular resistors, capacitors. These are only polyethylene sheets, which is plastic. So you just take a hammer and hammer your plastic plate into 2 sheets. They really need to come up with a recipe for a machine to do this. I understand it's plastic and a bending machine doesn't quite make sense, but something to make that automated would be nice, especially for the ones in the other recipe. The SMD capacitors here, these have to be made the same way, and since they're silicon based, I would say those should at least be able to go into the bending machine. That way there's a machine to make them, because this is like your last step on making circuits. As far as I can tell, you're going to need these for a long time, so an automated way of making them would be nice. Now, the issue we're having right now that she can't make this integrated processor, is it the central?
Yeah.
No.
Central.
Oh, yeah, right there. So, a wafer in a precision laser engraver at medium voltage makes a center processing unit wafer, but it needs a clean room. And then that is what I am hopefully going to figure out tomorrow Crazy's gone through and made the things and test built it over here, and it's not forming, so I'm gonna take a look at it tomorrow. She needs to get the machine for it because the machine's not in it, which I don't know if that matters for forming or not, but we will put out a video as soon as we get it figured out. The tooltips for it are a little vague, so it may take a little bit to get it figured out. Now, I forgot to show you guys last time. I was telling you that we were piping oil in. So let's come outside here. iNetMC. We have a tank, and it is packed full of crude oil. And that is what's going over and filling our distilleries for us through this pipe right here. We got one going down there, and we got one going down over there. And we built an oil train to handle it. I will show you the oil train here in a second. But today, did you happen to grab them cables so we can finish this?
No. I'll go grab them.
Okay, thank you. Today we built this big, ugly monstrosity of a thing.
If you add glass, it won't be so ugly. Are you sure you don't have them?
I am positive I didn't. They're still cooking. They never got put in the wire mill.
Oh, then no, they're not done.
Okay. Then I will go show we can take them out and show them the train. And we will come back and check on that when we get done. So basically we have an unloader here with a boarding track sent to set it that way. When Crazy gets her butt out here and load so she can see.
Well, we don't have enough aluminum cooked up yet.
It'll cook while we do this. So we have an unloader here. And boarding track on top, or locking track on top set to boarding mode. And set to send it that direction. And that automatically puts it into the tank for us with a pipe. And then come all the way out here. We're using Buildcraft oil and a Buildcraft pump. And we built this little train track. It's nowhere near as pretty as our water pipe holder, but we gotta pretty it up a little bit yet. But it comes out here and you can see way over there. That's where the oil's coming from. And we have all this chunk loaded, that way the train doesn't get stuck. And it's actually doing one heck of a job. That's one hell of a oil thing down there. Because we've been doing all of the oil stuff we've been doing off this one, and it's still going. But then we got the fluid loader here, locking track there, sending shit back this way. So it's all automated, bringing our oil to us. We never have to mess with it. And if you see that weird looking building over there, that's my winter bee house area. And I'll bring you guys down here to show you what I've been doing with the bees, since we're waiting on aluminum to cook. But you can see the tower from here. You can see the 3 turbines sticking out. I'll take you in there when we get done with the bees.
I'm gonna go check on aluminum.
Okay.
So I can get it making wires.
Okay, thank you. That is my winter bee area. Up there, I got a walkway this way and a walkway down here. I haven't got this one complete with a path, but I have all these bee houses out here. Each one has a different kind of bee in it that are just making me drones, basically, at the moment. I'm trying to keep one of each set. Those are my two high V's. This is my common. These are waters, which I haven't started playing with the water side yet. These are my nobles. They're not in any order. I'm very disorganized. My diligence. Get in there. These are my ignoble, or my unwearies. Here are my cultivateds. And when we get over here, here are my imperials, and here are my industrious. The only ones that I am missing, shush it you,
I'm a
are
willing
these
learner.
right here. These are my majestics that need to get out there, but I'm trying to get them where they are just doing the same base pairs out instead of giving me multiples. I think I finally got that. And then these I'm trying to do Rocky and Diligent. That is the purple one, right? Yeah, these. To try to get the special one that they give off, which is crap. What is that one? Yeah, tolerant. That's what I'm trying to do. That right there. It's only got 12%, and I'm not using any frames. I have not made one frame yet. No soul frames, no mutation frames. I gave all the mutation frames I had to NetMC because he has less time to spend on here than I do. I had this little waterfall coming down here. I think an Enderman caused it because there's this little pool up here. And I thought, rather than fixing it, because I think the Enderman took the block out right there and caused this, I figured instead of fixing it, I just use this little natural hole that it was spilling into and just make it a water pool. So I have my own little water feature down here. And Andy was giving me crap that I needed to try to redo my base from my old GT6 pack. So this is my attempt at it, which is a very poor attempt at it. I think some of the structural work I did looks nice, like these beams. I think they look pretty nice compared to what I did in the old one. And I kind of like this window that I did here. But it's not as good as the old base. This is all I have up here is one bee house. It's just for being able to do them up here in the cold area. I'll take you up and show you a little bit up here so you can see my ugly attempt at a building. I think there's a AE meteor that's supposed to be in here somewhere, but I can't find it. We're gonna have to dig this out someday and see if it's in there.
Your cables are done.
Alright, well, let's go check out the wind turbine then. We only had to make the wind turbines because Crazy actually managed to run us out of power once making black steel. So I decided, let's make a little bit more power. And the only problem with the wind turbines is with GT5u, there is no way of doing IC2 cables, which will get you your power from them down losslessly, which I don't have too big of an issue with. And usually it's not a problem for me because I usually have IE or something like that that I can use, and everything goes boom. Anyways, if you'd like to follow me up, no looking at my butt.
I don't want to look at your
show
butt.
them up here. It's a sassy butt. Anyways, up here is my first wind turbine, and I have to put something in here so I can get into this. I don't know if the hatches will work, that they'll open so I can get in here, like the trap doors, but that is the first one. It's making 81 EU right now. I'm losing about 30 getting down, so I'm getting about 50 EU out of that
I
one.
went too high.
About 10 blocks up is the second one, and it is outputting 88, losing about 40 EU, so we're getting about 40 out of that one. And then up here to the last one, it's putting out
Nothing
because I forgot the rotor apparently. Hey, how about you put a rotor in there? It's putting out 106 with about 50 block drop, I think. So we're getting about 50 out of it. So we're averaging somewhere around 120 EU a tick out of these three. And I'll explain how I did this. These are HV transformers turned backwards. You can tell because of the dot being different. So they are taking the power out of these and transforming them up to EV power, and then it's going down this aluminum cable as EV. That way we get less loss per block because it's going down in bigger packets. And I have all three of them in different sides, as you can see. That way the cables aren't connecting. I probably could do one cable down, like a 4X down, and maybe it would be better, but I'm not sure, so I just did it this way. And then we have another transformer down here for each one. That's taking it back from EV to HV. Hopefully it does not start raining while I do this and blow everything up. But which we did have happen. I think it was my scaffold caught on fire. But anyways, down here we have the power coming in to the top of this one, and then these two are going in through this side, and there's a battery buffer right there, which let's pin this back up before the rain comes, because you know we always have rain here because that one grumpy old guy doesn't believe in sleeping. But I learned today, when you're making these towers, don't use wooden scaffold, because even if you block over the top of it, apparently lightning strikes can hit the side of them, catching them on fire. And when you're using GregTech stuff, that means that the fire will spread and make things go boom. So we lost 2 wind turbines, 2 wind generators, and was it just 2 transformers?
2, 2, and 2.
Anyway, yeah, 2, 2, and 2. So here's the high voltage battery buffer. We made a 16 slot. That's dumping straight down into the main. And then the 2 LV, the gas turbine, and the other one, the diesel, are going into it as well. And she's making aluminum right now, so it's sucking up all our power. We also got our multi-smelter built finally. Once we get this last circuit stuff worked out that we're trying to do right now, we'll be able to make a vacuum freezer, so we'll be able to upgrade these coils to Canthal. So right now we're just using copper nickel, and that multi-smelter is a great thing to have. You can see we're staying pretty steady on power, and the boiler should be off right now. Yep, boiler's off, so all the cooking she's doing of aluminum, which it is running right now, is all being ran off of the wind, and we're gaining on power. You're doing some processing stuff too, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So right now the only power
Oh
we're
yeah, the
using.
ore washer's on.
Okay.
That's about it.
Can't believe the centrifuges ain't on. Those have been on forever.
They finally got done. Time to pack them full again.
Yes, it is. And our nitric acid setup is turned off because we actually ran out of oxygen. Because when making the oxygen nitrogen thing that we're doing here, it makes a lot more nitrogen than it does. Well, I think it makes about even, but we use a lot more oxygen than we do nitrogen. So we ran out of oxygen. And she, I think, has gotten me 2 new machines to set up. There's one. I don't think she has a second ready yet. But we're going to set up a set of electrolyzers. One that'll be for clay dust to get lithium, giving out water. And the other one will be taking that water and making hydrogen and oxygen from it. Because it's not coming from a infinite source, I don't have a problem with using it. And we may even take the water combs that we get from the water bees and centrifuge water out of them and use that water as well too. As long as we're not using a infinite water source, I don't have a problem with making oxygen and hydrogen from it. We can also use lignite, by the way. This was the way I did it quite a while back when I needed some water. If you look at lignite dust in a electrolyzer, you will get 4 parts water out of it, and this is a MV, so we could do this in the same setup as the clay, and it'll give
Look
you
up what?
2 carbon and a dark ash. Uses for lignite coal dust. As of right now, we've just been burning the crushed lignite whenever we get it. We've been macerating it, throwing it in the macerator, trying to get a little bit of regular coal dust out, and then the lignite crushed we just burn. But we can start doing this with whatever we get, process it down to the dust, and then we can get carbon, which we need, dark ash, which we can get more carbon out of, and then the water, which we can use for hydrogen and oxygen. So next time we should be showing that, and hopefully having that clean room hooked up and running and making that next circuit thing.
If you can figure it out.
I will figure it out. It's not an if. It's when. Because remember, if I can't figure it out, I'll just call Bloody and go, what did you do to this thing? It ain't working. And then he'll go, Bear, you're an idiot. Put this here. It'll work. So, but if you look at this clean room, I got to show this. To me, if I could spell clean. Okay, if you look at the controller thing, it says top sides controller and corners filter casings. So that's where the two of us misinterpreted it. One of us misinterpreted it. She thought that meant the filter casings went on the corners. I thought it meant you had to have the regular corners. Filter casings go everywhere but the corners. So we still ain't sure which way they're supposed to go. But that is not a very descriptive way of telling you how to do this. And then we have the one energy hatch, the one maintenance hatch. So it should work the way she has it built as far as I can tell. But she flipped these around, still doesn't work. So I'll look at it and see what I can figure out. Like I said, tomorrow, and I'll do a multi-block build of it like I have everything else when I get it done, and let you guys know what we figured out. And that is
I
it
don't
for
trust
today.
you.
Unless Crazy has, yeah, I wouldn't trust me either. Unless Crazy has anything else, that's it for today.
Nope.
All right. So see you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.